Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for our community action call today, all about springing into fertility and how we can support our hormones and our fertility. And this is a really important subject because, as we know, there are so many hormone disruptors out there. And there are some crazy statistics out there as well that there are fertility rates that are rising, that 1 in 6 couples are having a hard time to conceive. And this is something that's really important because this is a crisis. And so before I dive into that and into that subject, my name is Naiva Flory. I have been on the council here for over 5 years. I'm joined by Dominique Jeffries, and we have a couple other council members that are not able to be present here today, but we are so grateful for each and every one of you being a part of this incredible community and helping to share these messages far and wide so we can help more people have access to better solutions. So today, as we dive into this fertility subject, we're really going to dive into some of the things that are happening in our society, the things that are causing more infertility, as well as how we can really support our bodies to be able to do its job better and be fertile and have balanced hormones. Before I dive into that, though, I wanted to see, Ren, I'm going to call you out early and see if you'll go ahead and read our pledge for us. If you would please, I'll go ahead and pull it up on our screen.
I love this pledge so much. Okay. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
Thank you so much, Ren. And I know you're going to be sharing a little bit of your story later, but would you like to share what this movement means to you?
Um, I'm on a mission of co-creating a better planet and making a positive, lasting impact for future generations and for all beings, not just human beings, but animals. And I love how that includes the environment and because we're all interconnected and it's just so important because the future generations are everything and it's our job to be doing what we can now for the future generations. And the health thing is really serious. And um, it's just, I don't know, everything about this whole mission and just making the world a better place and health, it's just, I don't know. I love all of it. It's super, super important to me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. And I really am excited for you to share more of your story with the community here in a few minutes. So today we're really here to share more and educate and empower more men and women to discover how fertility is so deeply connected to our overall health and not just reproductive function. So much of it has to do with the nutrition we're putting in our body, or that we're not putting in our body. In a lot of cases, we're turning to, easy fast foods or things that have lots of microplastics or other endocrine disruptors in them. And these can all cause issues over time. We might not notice at the moment. We're just buying a bottle of water or buying the sandwich wrapped in plastic. But over time, those microplastics or those different things do cause issues in our body. And it does cause hormone dysregulation, and that really does affect us on a whole level. So, it's super vital to know that we can help our bodies by giving it the proper nutrition and eliminating the things that are actually causing the issues in the first place. More and more young women today have irregular cycles, hormonal imbalances, and reproductive challenges. And a lot of it has to do with so many endocrine disruptors all around us, the scents in our perfumes and our candles, perfumes, things that are sprayed on our clothes or in our homes, or even just out and about when we're in restaurants or different places, right? There's so many of our clothes that are made out of plastic. Think about, all of our bras and tights and even our underwear and all these things that are actually made out of fabrics that don't let our body breathe. Those actually also cause hormone dysregulation. And the list goes on, from our laundry soaps to the dryer sheets to even the hand soap or the um, things in our everyday life that we use on our own skin, our own body, our own lotions. It's something to really look into the ingredients of the things we're putting not only in our body, but on our body, because all of the things can really cause issues in the long term. We might not notice it from today to tomorrow, but we might notice it in years down the road, how it can cause dysregulation in our hormones. So there's not always a lot of symptoms that arise from these things that are dysregulating our hormones, but in some cases there are. A lot of us get things like acne or breakouts, boils, rashes, different things that are signs that our body is needing help. It's crying out for help. And so some of these, so many of our hormones are disrupted and it can cause early puberty. It can cause because by like synthetic hormones, environmental toxins, and so many other things. So common disruptors can also be things like processed foods or poor nutrition, chronic stress, right? Even for young ladies going to school and having to keep up with after school activities and all the things that life has to throw at us as we're growing up and trying to start adulting and taking on the new responsibilities of life. All these things can cause a lot of stress and can cause disruption in your hormones. Also, birth control. A lot of young women are on birth control, and that can really dysregulate your hormones and cause a myriad of side effects. And then there's all the other exposures that I mentioned, to all the beauty products and household products that we have all around us all the time. And so what fertility really tells us is when we're having a regular cycle every 28 to 32 days, we have a regular ovulation, we have balanced hormones and so many, we're just in a better mood. Every day we're actually able to get through our days so much better when our stress levels are down and our hormones are balanced and we're getting that proper sleep at night. It can really help us in so many ways. And so I'm going to go ahead and open up a little slide that I created just to share additional information with you all. And then I will pass it over to our guests to share a little bit more about how they're taking this next step toward just taking their own self-care. So I wanted to share about nourishing fertility. And let me see if I can mm, put it in presentation mode. So, nourishing fertility, it's really about nourishing our own bodies so our bodies can do its job to function optimally. And so, let me just get into the first page here and see if I can get into presenter view. All right. So fertility goes for men and women. I know we focus a lot on women's fertility, but something else that we want to talk about is men's fertility because it's just as important as the women's fertility because it takes two to create a life. And so it is really important that we also talk about men's fertility and men's hormones as well. And so I'm going to stop my screen share because that is just not working for me at the moment, but I will share the information with you. I'll give me 1 second to tackle my technical difficulties here. But it is something that's very important that we share about as well. Let me see.
Naima, if you want to, you can click the little expand arrows at the bottom of the screen on Canva, and you can share that way too.
Oh, okay.
Makes it easy.
Yeah, I'm trying to find you all. Love the technical difficulties. So this is, I'll just go through and share some of the information because I'm trying to pull up this page, but I'm having a little bit technical difficulties. But the important importance of fertility for men. Today's couples are reporting reduced desire, reduced ability, and reduced opportunity for procreation. And this has led more couples than ever before for seeking fertility specialists. And so at Purium, we really believe that the answer to this major issue is nutrition. How can we detox the things that are harming us or making it, harder for us to conceive or to have proper fertility levels without having to undergo some heavy procedures or really expensive treatments. And so this is what we're calling green babies. And green babies are from couples that are living the green lifestyle using the Purium Superfoods. And I know several couples that have been able to conceive that had actually undergone a lot of different treatments and were unable to conceive prior. And after doing the ultimate lifestyle transformation for a minimum of 3 months, we're able to conceive and have one of my friends has had her second son now through using these Purium superfoods, and she had not been able to conceive and carry full term prior. So 42% of adults in the US have reported they have used fertility treatments or personally known somebody who has. So this number is actually up 33% from just 5 years ago. So this is something that, is really important and that we should take into consideration because we shouldn't be seeking so many fertility treatments if there are other ways to help our bodies. So 1 in 6 individuals worldwide is actually considered infertile. They can't conceive a baby. They can't help to procreate a child. 19% of all couples are unable to conceive after 1 year of unprotected sex and 10% after 2 years. So this is staggeringly alarming because this isn't normal. A lot of it is due to, the overtoxicity of our food and the undernourishment that we are receiving from the food we're putting into our bodies. And fertility treatments are very expensive and are typically not covered by insurance. So most people who are using fertility services will pay out of their own pocket, and they'll pay anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 in some cases. And it doesn't even promise them that they will then be able to have a baby. It's just a fertility treatment and it might help them. And so this is something that I can't scream loudly enough from the rooftops is we have a solution that can really help people get the nourishment they need so that their body can do its job to function optimally. And so if you are going to spend all that money, why not just try Purium first, right? So if you know anybody that's undergoing these treatments or looking into these treatments, just offer them a helping hand and offer them the solution because I've seen it work for so many people. So according to medical experts, there are 5 identifiable reasons for a man not being potent, and this is known as sex drive, and it goes directly to someone's desire to have intimacy with their partner. If you don't have desire for intimacy, you're probably not going to initiate the intimacy in the first place. So what you don't start, you'll never finish. Some reasons why men lack desire is tiredness, overworked, right? Going to work for long hours, probably living off coffee and energy drinks, not maybe making the best food choices during the day, and being exhausted at night. Being overweight, again, so many of the men out there are working so hard, maybe they don't even have time to go to the gym, maybe not making the best food choices due to convenience, what's available around them, COPD, and having trouble breathing. This can be hard for a lot of people. Stress is a huge factor because if we're stressed out, then our body can't do its job to perform optimally. And then fear that you're not desired or that you can't perform optimally. This can hold somebody back from doing their best because they don't know that they can actually produce the best results. And so these are all things that by introducing these superfoods, it can really help with increase your libido. It can help you feel better in your body. So maybe you start doing more exercise and working out more, going out there, joining a gym, lifting weights, doing whatever it is to get your body back in form so that you feel better and you want to do the things that are going to produce the energy that you want to be able to be intimate with your partner. And so some of the things that can help with reducing stress is apothecary. Apothecary is really great to help you get the better sleep at night and to reduce stress in your body so that way your body can do its job to really self-regulate. And then Super Life Formula is incredible for balancing hormones for both men and women. It can start to increase the desire as long as you continue to exercise. So it can really increase your hormones and your libido so that you have the desire to be intimate with your partner. And then White American Ginseng is also a really great hormone balancer for both men and women and has a history of creating greater satisfaction during intimacy. So those are some of the ones that can really help with stress and the increased desire for intimacy and balancing your hormones. So there's so much to be said about, the different superfoods and how they can support you. And I'll go into some of those a little bit more. But before I go any further, I would love to just go ahead and invite Ren to come on and share a little bit about what she's doing for her own self, the journey that she's on, preparing her body for a future family that she wants to create. So Ren, if you'll come on and introduce yourself and a little bit about the journey that you're on right now.
Thank you. I'm so excited to share this. Like, I'm pretty hardcore. I'm on a sacred mission of preparing my body to have a baby. And like my journey is a little different. Like I didn't want to have a child at all before because of the state of the world and what we're doing to the planet. And then I went on a journey of healing my inner child. And I was able to see what would be possible if a child was brought into this world with a parent who has like done some healing on themselves, who was emotionally present, who was healthy, who was loving, who was nurturing, who was inspiring and uplifting, and just all of the things that I got to go through on this journey. And so I realized that I was meant to be a mom, and I was able to see the world through a more positive, loving lens instead of being so pessimistic. And so my goal has always been to create a better planet and a better world, and to like a world of love and health. And so through this journey, and when I decided to finally have a baby, I realized intuitively that I needed to take care of my body and cleanse and nourish. And I gave myself 4 years, and now I'm at the 18-month mark. So I gave myself 4 years to prepare. I'll probably be longer, but I just knew that I had some deep cleansing and nourishing to do, just following my intuition. And when I made that decision, it led me to this community. And the reason I found it was because my friend was sharing about cleansing the glyphosate from her body. And I had known about glyphosate, which is the herbicide being sprayed on all of our food, 4 billion pounds per year. It's infiltrated even the air in our water. And I've known about it, and I've known that it's affecting fertility. I've known that children are being born more ill, and there's a direct correlation on graphs to this toxin. And I was still hopeful, I'm like, okay, this is a little bit scary, but I'm still going to do it. And so seeing that there's a solution to that was just huge. So I asked to learn more. I learned about the superfoods, and I learned about the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And I started taking the superfood, and I could feel the ignition in my body immediately. And so 18 months into this journey, I've been learning more and more and more. And so I just want to rewind actually a little bit. So the reason why I'm preparing my body is because these children that are being born from us, this generation, so we're the change makers right now. And the children being born are the change makers born of the change makers. And they're going to help us to co-create a better planet. And if we are giving them healthy bodies as well as healthy love and presence, then imagine what difference they're going to make in this world. And because there's a lot of things going on in this world, there's a lot of light and there's a lot of dark. And they're going to have some things that they're going to have to face coming into this world. And if they have a physical body that is nourished and is vibrant and is healthy, because it's all interconnected, like the spirit, the physical, the emotional. Like if we can give them the strongest foundation possible to come into this world, like just imagine what they can do. Because I didn't know that I could make a positive impact on this planet. Like that's why I didn't want to have a kid. But now that I know I can make a positive impact on this planet, I'm like on a mission. And so if these children know that and are healthy and all of that, starting at the very, very beginning of their lives, instead of like at 30, the age 30, like I did, they're going to change the world. And like, so that's like the reason why I'm doing this. And I actually, like when I made this decision to do this, I had a partner and I imagined us having this child together. And because like we helped each other heal our inner children together. So it was like this really beautiful, like spiritual thing that we went through. But once I went on the health part of it, of nourishing the body, he kind of fell off. And I told him that like he needed to be taking care of his body. He needed to be eating these superfoods because I've never seen anything like these superfoods. And like they're the most potent foods on the planet. So I'm like, you got to be eating the superfoods. You got to be cleansing you of the glyphosate. And he kind of didn't want to. So like I'm now single and I'm still preparing my body for a baby. And I've been learning that like that the fathers are passing on things as well, all of these toxins, not just the mothers. The mothers are passing on our gut microbiomes. Glyphosate destroys our gut microbiome and we breathe it in through the air. So it's like, I feel like what's really important for us to do is to control what we have control over. And what we do and what we don't have control over, like it's out of our hands. But we can choose what we're putting into our bodies. We can choose to be like cleansing the glyphosate from our bodies because there's a solution to do so, which is like huge. And so yeah, so I really focus on what I have control over, and I'm extreme. Like, so these superfoods come in compostable packaging. That's huge because it's being kind to the planet and our bodies. They're finding microplastics in the placentas of babies. 100% of the placentas of babies that are being born, they're finding microplastics in them. Microplastics are being stored in all of our tissues and our organs and causing health issues. And so like, and it's found in the sperm. So and the baby's first stool. So these toxins are just so embedded in our environment that like it's important to get food that's not in plastic. It's huge. It's important to be cleansing when we can and to deeply nourishing because the soil health is completely destroyed and like it doesn't have any nutrients in it. So these superfoods being grown in ancient soils having all of the nutrients that are missing from our modern food supply is huge. And like at the same time, we're also dismantling the toxic food system because we get to be supporting the regeneration of the Earth's soils and building ecosystems for animals to thrive in and butterflies and all of the species that thrive in different ecosystems. And like I said, my ultimate goal is to be making the world better and to be like an ancestor my great children are proud of. And it's going to start first with my child. So I want to be a mother that they're proud of. And I want to know that how much they're going to know how much I prepared for them, knowing that they're that sacred, that they are that special for me to consider what I'm putting into my body, to spending years to even prepare it for them to come into like this sacred vessel, that they are that sacred and special. Like just that in itself, I feel is going to create so much magic around them as a human. And because it's like all interconnected, the spirit, the physical body, all of it. So like I just really want to encourage everybody, mothers, fathers, to think about what we're putting in our bodies before we have babies and to cleanse, because it is now being shown scientific proof that we are passing these toxins on to our kids. So if we have a choice to remove these toxins, like it's so much more important than us. Like they're so sacred. They're the children. They're the children. Like we have to do something for them. And if we can make the decision before being pregnant, then like that's not too early to start. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much. Please share some love with Lauren in the comments. And yeah, anybody that resonates with what she shared. So inspiring, Ren, for everything that you've shared and how you're preparing yourself for your future family. And it's something that not everybody takes a whole lot of consideration, but it's something that is great for both men and women to do as we're preparing for a family, because it's not only on the women's side to prepare our bodies, right? The men also have to prepare themselves for having a baby and for taking that next step in their life and being able to help conceive a child, and for that to be a really strong, strong sperm to create a strong human in the future. So the power of nutrition, it's really the key to unlocking fertility and hormonal balancing. So for many young women, the journey through puberty, adolescence, and womanhood is filled with hormonal shifts, some subtle, some disruptive. Some first menstrual cycles can go to navigating acne, mood swings, fatigue, painful periods. It's clear that hormonal imbalances are becoming more and more common, and they're starting earlier and earlier. So what's really going on here? Hormonal chaos in modern times. In generations past, hormonal transitions were more gradual and more balanced. But today, girls as young as 9 or 10 are experiencing early puberty, irregular cycles, and signs of estrogen dominance. Much of this disruption is rooted in our environment: ultra processed food, plastic packaging, exposure to endocrine disrupting chemicals, chronic stress, and nutrient depleted soils. So these factors are all place stress on the endocrine system and the network of glands responsible for hormone production and regulation. So by the time many women are in their 20s and 30s, when fertility should be peaking, their hormones are often out of sync. Conditions like PCOS or thyroid dysfunctions, endometriosis, and unexplained infertility are increasingly common in today's society. But the truth is, these issues aren't just genetic or bad luck. They're signs of deeper imbalances in the body, often related to inflammation, blood sugar instability, and nutrient deficiencies. So there are things that we can do to really help our body be more regulated. So nutrition is often the missing link in hormones and fertility health. So this is where nutrition becomes more than just fuel. It becomes a healing tool. What we eat directly impacts our hormonal health, menstrual cycle, ovulation, egg quality, and overall fertility. So nutrition sets the foundation for the entire reproductive system to function the way it was designed to. And when your body is nourished with the right foods and free from the wrong ones, it knows how to heal and rebalance all systems, right? Our body knows what to do if we just give it the right tools. So, balanced whole food nutrition and hormone balance. Why hormones need nourishment? Hormones are chemical messengers that regulate everything from mood, sleep, metabolism, and energy to the menstrual cycles, fertility, and thyroid function. They are built to and processed from nutrients in the food we eat. So if we're not getting the right nutrients, we're overloaded with sugar and processed ingredients, our hormone systems quickly goes out of sync. So think about all these young people, right? Teenagers, men and women who are, just coming of age, going through hormones, and what are they eating? What are they putting into their body? They're having, Gatorades and energy drinks and packaged foods and candy bars and all of these things. None of them have any nutrients in them. All of them are wrapped in plastic packaging. And so there's so many issues with today's society. And what can we do about it? How can we help empower these people with something that's easy, convenient, tastes good, and is good for their bodies? So what is balanced whole food nutrition? Whole food nutrition means choosing foods that are minimally processed, rich in vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients, free from synthetic additives and preservatives and food colorings, and that are varied and full of fiber, right? And colorful, naturally colorful. Balanced meals include healthy sources of protein, sources of healthy fat, plenty of fiber and lots of vegetables, optimal whole grains and roots, and veggies for complex carbs. And this combo really helps blood sugar stable, which is a major key in hormone balancing as well. So just eating real whole food, home cooked meals is so good for us. So how whole foods balance hormones? Here's how the whole food diet supports key areas of hormonal health. Supporting blood sugar balance prevents insulin spikes that can lead to PCOS, acne, irregular periods. Balanced meals also equals less mood swings, sugar cravings, and PMS. So really getting all those nutrients in every day can help you with so many other things that happen every day when we don't get the balanced food into our body, right? It can also boost liver detox pathways. Your liver is where the excess estrogen is broken down. So cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts help to detox hormones. Um, efficiently. So that's really helpful. Feeds the gut microbiome, right? You want to feed your gut microbiome with good, healthy foods, especially ferments. I love fermented foods. A healthy gut helps regulate estrogen metabolism and reduces inflammation. Prebiotic fibers from fruits and vegetables keep the gut in good shape. And then reducing inflammation. Chronic inflammation disrupts ovulation and increases cortisol. So whole foods like berries, turmeric, and leafy greens calms the body's internal stress systems. So just eating these whole balanced meals, and that's where we'll go into Purium in just a minute. But nutrition can also help to regulate menstrual cycles, reduce PMS and painful periods, support healthy ovulation, improve mood and energy, which we all know that if we're in a good mood, way more fun things are going to happen than if we're not in a good mood, right? So let's keep those happy hormones flowing. Enhance egg and sperm quality by getting proper nutrition and eliminating the things that don't serve us, and then prepare the body for healthy pregnancy. So these are all things that are really helpful ways to just help your body with your hormones. So the best nutrients for hormonal balance and fertility, here are some of the most essential nutrients for women to prioritize, whether you're just starting your period or preparing to conceive. Folate. Folate's super important for cell development and hormone production. Magnesium helps to regulate cortisol, supports thyroid and blood sugar. Omega-3s, we always talk about omegas, how important they are. They reduce inflammation, they support our hormone building blocks. Vitamin D is vital for hormone receptor sensitivity and immune regulation. And then vitamin B, especially vitamins B6 and 12, support mood, metabolism, and cycle regulation. And then iron replenishes loss from your cycle. And then adaptogens like maca root, which nourish the endocrine system naturally. And so if you think about it, we have a lot of these things within the foods that we have in our superfood line, but you can also get a lot of these minerals and vitamins through the foods we eat every day. So nutrient top sources for folate is dark leafy greens. So think of all of our green drinks, right? Our power shake, our more greens, our barley grass juice, our kamut blend, right? All of these are dark leafy greens, and you can add more into your smoothies or into your shakes if you need to add in more folate. Legumes, lentils, chickpeas, black beans, asparagus, avocados, beets, celery, broccoli, zucchini, cauliflower, all of these are rich in folate, and there are so many more. So you can definitely include these foods into your everyday meal plan. And then high in magnesium foods. There's lots of nuts and seeds that we can include into our everyday meals. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, cashews are really high in magnesium. Again, back to the leafy greens, high in magnesium, legumes, whole grains, dark chocolate. We all love some dark chocolate to get our nutrients from. So like 70% dark chocolate or darker is ideal because there's less sugar in it. And then omega-3 fatty acids are also really helpful for hormonal harmony helpers. Omega-3s are essential fatty acids, meaning your body can't make them on its own and must get them from food. So they're a key building block to every cell membrane, including hormone producing cells. So there are three main types: EPA, which fights inflammation; DHA, which supports the brain, hormone, and fetal development once you're pregnant; and then the ALA, which a plant-based omega-3 that must be converted to EPA or DHA, which the body does naturally. So why women need omega-3s for hormone and fertility is it helps to balance estrogen and progesterone. It helps to improve the egg quality and ovulation. It supports healthy inflammation, and then it boosts your mood and reduces anxiety. So those are all super helpful and just overall being able to help you. So I'm going to go really quickly into some of the products that we would also recommend, and then I'm going to pass it over to Dominique to share a little bit of her own journey as well. But hormone harmony and fertility support with Purium and whole food nutrition can really be helpful, because having something that's super easy and convenient delivered to your door can really just help you stay balanced and have everything at your fingertips. And then, of course, making meals with the foods that best support you in your outcome of, how you want to feel in your body, and balancing your hormones and bringing your body back to a good homeostasis. And then also eliminating the foods that are not serving you, the things that are actually causing more havoc than they are supporting your overall goals. So if you're preparing to conceive, this is really helpful to just nourish your body, flood your body with nutrients that are really going to help you to get the results that you want. So the top Purium products for fertility and hormonal health can really be helpful. Let's see, there's a typo there. Sorry about that. So the Power Shake, it's greens, fiber, organic superfoods all in one glass. We all love our Power Shake. Drop us some love in the comments. Tell us why you love your Power Shake, how it really supports you. It's really great for liver detoxification, helps reduce inflammation, which is a huge issue with so many of our bodies. It can also really help balance your blood sugar, and is good for so many things. And Power Shake is really a foundational product for everybody, all walks of life, all ages. This is our go-to because it has everything in one glass. And so this also boasts a ton of folic acid and magnesium and so many of the minerals and things that we mentioned earlier. A lot of it can be found in the Power Shake or in the different supplements shared here. So Be Energetic is really great. It's full of adaptogenic herbs. It can really help with your energy levels. It can help with your libido, your adrenal balance, and your reproductive vitality. So Be Energetic can be a really great one for both men and women who are trying to conceive. And maybe if you have low energy and you're wanting to increase your energy or just reset your adrenals, it can really help. Fulvic zeolite is another one. It helps to detoxify heavy metals. Glyphosate, so many other things. It can really help eliminate anything that's hormone disrupting chemicals in your body. So that's really great to just eliminate those, so that way they're no longer causing any havoc, and you can really go into replenishing your body with these superfoods. So it can also help clear the body of hormonal interference, so improving cellular communication. It's also critical for preconception and during hormonal transition. This fulvic zeolite can be really beneficial. And then Biomedic, Ren did mention a little bit about the Biomedic and how it can help remove glyphosate. Glyphosate is a huge endocrine disruptor, maybe the largest one, the largest issue right now that we're faced with. And by reducing glyphosate in our body, it can really help balance our hormones and help our bodies to be able to function more properly in all areas. So improving your gut microbiome, which is essential for nutrient absorption and estrogen clearance, and it supports healthy cycles, fertility, and hormonal detox. So Biomedic is helpful in so many different ways. And then the list goes on. Crack cell chlorella is another really great one. This one has all of your omega-3s from a plant-based source. So take those crack cell chlorella, really helpful in building healthy cells. It helps to gently detoxify the body and replenish and nourish the cells. It also supports your egg quality, your cellular function, and hormonal production. BioRegen supports tissue repair, cellular regeneration, and reproductive organ health. It's also ideal for fertility prep, postpartum recovery, or hormone shifts later on in life. So BioRegen really helps, but really just helps you get the proper rest at night. It's to help regenerate your cells and your cellular function. So that can be really helpful. Women's Defense is a really great blend. It can help with PMS relief, with estrogen detox, with cycle support. It can help just reduce cramps, breast tenderness, mood swings, but it really can help you with your hormonal balance as a woman. And then we also have the Men's Defense for men that men can include into what they're doing to help balance their hormones. But for women, we also have menopausive. I know this one can be confusing. It's not just for menopause. It's actually good for women of all ages and can help you balance your hormones and really, help you in so many ways. So, so I didn't get through to edit all of these out, but that the menopausive is really beneficial for women of all ages and supports hormonal changes throughout life, right? So as we're wanting to conceive, it can really help you balance your hormones so that your body can do its job to conceive a baby. And then superxanthin, like I mentioned earlier, it contains astaxanthin, one of the most powerful antioxidants that really can protect your cells from oxidative stress. It's crucial for egg quality and anti-aging. It can support your skin, your eyes, your brain, your hormonal health. It can also help the health of your growing baby in those ways as well. So ideal for both fertility prep and graceful aging. Um, Post-pregnancy as well. So, fertility and hormone-friendly whole food nutrition, we're focusing on dark leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables. This will really help to support detox and estrogen balance. You want to also focus on colorful fruits, providing lots of antioxidants to protect the reproductive cells. You want to focus a lot on organic whole grains and legumes, so nourish your adrenals and stabilize your blood sugar. Clean proteins as much as possible, organic when you can, plant-based or animal-based, whatever your preference is. Just choose the cleanest ones possible. Healthy fats, of course, flax, avocado, hemp, cold-pressed oils, or just really healthy fats from like eating seeds and nuts that are fresh and not in their oil form. Things to avoid. Let's avoid refined sugars, seed oils, too many processed snacks, things that are overwrapped and overpackaged as much as possible. Avoid pesticides, especially glyphosate or foods that have been sprayed with glyphosate. So think any conventional foods that do not have an organic label. Try to avoid any synthetic hormones. Any high caffeine or alcohol obviously are not beneficial in helping you with your balancing your hormones, and then chronic dieting or under eating, which can really disrupt your hormones. So we're not trying to get you to, starve yourself or not give yourself the nutrients you need. We're really focusing on giving your body all the nutrients it needs in a whole food form in the best way that we can. So fertility and hormone balancing aren't just about reproductive years, they're about the whole body health through every phase of life. So Purium's organic products offer targeted support to help you feel aligned and energized and hormonally whole through all the stages of your life. So your hormones aren't broken. They're just not responsive. They respond to your environment, your stress levels, and the food you eat every single day. So whether you're 16, 26, or 36, it's never too early or too late to start supporting your fertility and hormonal balance with intentional nutrition. So every smoothie, every supplement, every act of self-care sends your body and sends the message, I am ready to heal, I'm ready to thrive. With the right tools like clean nutrition and targeted Purium support, you can restore balance and tap into the vibrant, fertile energy that your body is naturally designed to express. So Purium works with the whole food nutrition from the highest quality sources, and we can customize the experience to fit your individual needs. So it's the most affordable, earth-friendly way, and it's shipped right to your door. So when we cultivate our well-being, we ignite the inner shine that impacts every other aspect in our lives, relationships, work, emotions, family, inspiration, and productivity by continuously shifting how we eat and feel and what we support. We can be vehicles for change in our families and communities and the world. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Dominique, who's going to share a little bit of her story, how she has been preparing herself for her journey into motherhood as well.
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much, Naiva and Lauren. I both resonate with both of your stories. Naiva, you always provide so much detailed information. I love how you compare what's happening in the real world and statistics to this blessing that we have, right, with superfoods and nutrition to change the planet. So a little backstory about my journey. I actually started my menstrual cycle at 10 years old. I was diagnosed with a condition called progressive puberty, where you show early signs of puberty, like, breast development or body hair, different growth spurts. I was actually the tallest person in my class in elementary school. And a lot of that was compared to, or I guess contributed to my diet, obviously as a kid, but also some of the foods that my mom ate when I was in the womb. Was definitely high in processed sugar. I'm from Kentucky, so a lot of just processed sugar, dairy, which we know are full of toxins and, unfortunately hormones. So that was something I dealt with when I was really young. And then when I got older, I got on birth control, synthetic birth control at the age of 17, and I was on that for 10 years. But it was so divine because the year that I decided to get off of birth control, just for my own personal health, a few months later is when I found Purium. And I think back and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful because obviously what we have, what Naiva just covered, really helps our bodies as women come back to nature and rebalancing our hormones and flow with nature. And so I didn't even realize the goal that I had stumbled upon that supported me in these years of rebalancing back to rebalancing my hormones after birth control for 10 years. So it has really been just such a gift. It's helped me alleviate stress in my body, which birth control, I don't know how many women are on the chat that are in the call that, have been on synthetic birth control, but for years, I always felt like I had this weight on my chest. Like I just felt it's chronic inflammation that you can't really understand what's happening until you're off of it. And immediately off, I just felt just a lighter sense in my body, in my mind. I felt more present. And that whole journey really helped me just come back to reconnecting to myself, honoring my voice. I resonated so much with what Lauren said, just about, prioritizing what's best for her and allowing people and situations, jobs, whatever that's not in alignment with your vision to kind of fall apart. And that takes a lot of power, but that's what we hold as women. And I'm just so grateful for this opportunity just to reconnect to myself through this nutrition and really, just lean back into my power as a woman. And I don't have any children. I don't have any plans in the near future, but I do know that what I'm doing every single day through eating these superfoods, I'm prioritizing my health. I'm creating a healthy environment for the future children. And as women too, we don't only just hold the eggs of our children that we birth, but we also hold the eggs of our grandchildren and our great grandchildren. And so knowing that every day I drink my power shake and I take Biomedic, I'm preparing my body or alleviating a lot of these toxins that my future generations of my family won't have that burden to bear. So it is so much more than what we're doing today. I mean, it's important what we do every single day, but also just thinking about the bigger picture and the lineage that, we're creating. And then just being a part of this community, being partnered with Purium. I'm so blessed because even though I am not looking to conceive right now, I have a lot of friends who have either intentionally been wanting to conceive and have found success. And then also I have some friends that weren't trying to conceive and unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but fortunately they were blessed to have children. One of my cousins, actually, she already had a daughter and she was wanting to conceive again with her partner. And they were trying and she was like, nothing's working, but I know I probably need to reset my body. And she started with the ULT. She was on it about 2 months before she texted me and told me we're with child. And I actually pre-warned her before because I know the power of these foods. I know how pure they are. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Now she has another daughter. I also have another friend from high school who's actually a guy. He was eating a lot of processed packaged foods. He wasn't just trying to like nourish himself. Honestly, he was just looking for something that was convenient. He was eating out of the gas station and, he just wanted to kind of change his lifestyle, but didn't really know where to start and wanting something convenient. So I shared with him the Core 4 and definitely introduced him to Can't Beat This. And for any of the men on the call, the Can't Beat This is incredible for your health, especially if you are wanting to contribute to conceiving. And he happened to conceive his daughter. He is obsessed with Can't Beat This, just bringing more blood flow and oxygen throughout his entire body. So that was really helpful and supportive to him. But yeah, there's so many stories that we have within our community of how powerful this nutrition can be to support your growing family, but really having a space where you can create a healthy environment, healthy and sustainable environment for the next generation. And with Purium, we do that physically through superfoods, but it opens up every other door of our health, emotionally and financially. So yeah, I'm just so blessed with this community. I just appreciate everyone in the chat and, you know, your share, Naiva.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And let's see, what's Boo saying here? I'm just reading the chat. Um, yeah, I really appreciate all the information that you shared. And yes, there are so many superfoods that can help support men and women on their journey to regaining better hormone balance, better fertility in your body. And it really starts with the core four or the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And then adding in the other superfoods, some of the ones that I mentioned or Dominique mentioned. There is a really great wellness guide that you can refer to on our website that actually helps you to navigate what you might add on to your own protocol, and somebody can help you do that. So if this is your first time joining us on this incredible call today, then the person that invited you here invited you because they really care about you and they want to help you have access to this information and tools for better support. And so we really want to lean on that. And so reach out to the person who invited you to this call, and they can help you figure out the best way for you to get started on your own journey. And, you know, the stories here today are really just like these women are just sharing where they're at and how they're preparing their own lives, their own bodies for what is yet to come. And I just want to commend you both for, you know, the thought of, you know, really thinking about the future in that way. Like you shared, Dominique, that, you know, we don't only carry our daughters or our children and our eggs, you know, we're actually carrying our daughters who are already have their eggs ready for that next generation. And so what we do now not only affects us, it affects our generations and their generations as well. So we can do so much by just taking care of ourselves here and detoxing, replenishing, nourishing, and bringing our body to a state where it can function optimally. So we still have a few more minutes left before we close out. If anybody has a short story or share that you would like to bring to the community on the subject of fertility and nourishing with these incredible superfoods, we would love to hear from you. Just go ahead and raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Anybody got a story or a share? Well, I appreciate each and every one of you joining us here today. And I do have, oh, I see Lauren did raise her hand. Hi, Lauren, welcome back.
I just wanted to like say one last thing. Like I often say like I'm pretty extreme, like I'm hardcore, like different than other people. And I like because I care so deeply and I'm like so hardcore about it. Like even like so like this t-shirt I'm wearing, this t-shirt's cotton. Like I go and get t-shirts and cut them into like belly shirts and like that's what I wear because it's like kind of difficult not to find clothes that are plastic and toxic. Like so every little thing I pay attention to. But I'm like super high maintenance. Like I want the best of the best of the best because that's how like important this mission is to me. So that's how powerful these superfoods are. Like to think that even food like this exists is beyond what I could have dreamed of. That everything is taken into consideration, even the water that it's watered with. Like it's not tap water from like your sink, and just the intention behind it, and the fact that like there's a whole mission to end human suffering and to create a better world behind the company and behind everybody that's like growing the food even like so the food has such a high consciousness in itself, like such a high vibrational frequency that like it's magic. So I just wanted to say that and just to really tone in on the quality of these superfoods that are they're just so beautiful. And like, that's why I'm like, I want my beautiful child to be made out of these superfoods. So yeah, green baby.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, we're going to bring many more green babies out from the superfood community. And Boo, I see you have your hand up. I would love to hear from you.
Thank you, Naiva. And thank you to everyone who shared. You know, I just love being on a journey of health and wellness. And I feel like these products support us so deeply on that journey. And it's interesting hearing this story because one of my main reasons for initially going healthy, like really upping my level, was so that I could have a baby. I wanted to have the most healthy baby possible. And then I came to a point where I decided, like, okay, a baby's not in my walk of life, and so I'm choosing a different pathway in my life, and I'm not going to have a baby. And then I said, well, then I don't have to continue this. And I said, but wait a minute, I can do it for me. And so, yes, we can do it for, to produce healthy children, to produce healthy grandchildren, and to get ourselves into optimum shape. But do it for yourself first. Do it for yourself first. And then it just flourishes out from there, because I'm so happy. Once I decided I wasn't going to have a baby, I'm like, well, what about me going through menopause? And I know sometimes we do calls to support women going through the different stages of life. And, it's so amazing how when we've got this homeostasis in our body, and it's always fluctuating, we don't achieve it and then, oh, we've arrived. It's constant because of all the barrage of things coming in through the environment, the toxins, the stress levels, and finding a healthy function through all of that. And so, yes, keep on doing it, because we need those healthy bones. We need to look after our collagen and all of the things that Naiva mentioned within that amazing presentation. So thank you for that presentation, Naiva. It really was outstanding, the information. But I just wanted to come on and say that, although we're doing it for to have a baby, and with the subject here is fertility, do it for yourself too, especially after you've had children. So thank you.
Absolutely. I love that perspective. Thanks for coming on and sharing, the next perspective. And yes, do it for yourself first, right? Like let's do it for ourselves, and then the rest unfolds. And this is an incredible tool. It really, for myself, I didn't share much of my story today, but for myself, it started for me. I was introduced to these superfoods for my own nourishment. And through that, I've been able to support my children in having access to these superfoods, my family, my friends, my community. And it's been an amazing gift that has just continued to be such a blessing. And what brings me the most joy is the stories I get to hear. When my friend came back after all the fertility treatments didn't work, and she was beside herself, and I told her, just try this, just give it a try. She had already spent $100,000. Just try $350 or whatever it is for an ultimate lifestyle transformation. And she did. And 3 months later, she came back to me with a positive, pregnancy test. And she's conceived twice now. The second time, again, she had kind of fallen off Purium a little bit. She decided she wanted to get pregnant. She got on Purium. 3 months later, she conceived again. So it really does work. It's a beautiful to hear these stories, and it's really what brings me so much joy. So thank you all for being here. And again, like I mentioned earlier, if it's your first time, reach back out to the person who invited you here, because they love you and they want to share this information and this community with you. And we want to invite you to join our community. So please go ahead and like our Facebook page, join our Facebook group, Million Mom Movement Official, where you are all a part of an incredible community. Please share your stories in there, share your recipes in there, share your inspiration in that group so that we can all get to know each other. Also, follow us on Instagram, tag us on your post and your stories at Million Mom Movement, or use some of our hashtags down below. And then also subscribe to our YouTube channel, where all of our replays are posted. So we'd love to invite you to go and not only subscribe to our YouTube channel, but go browse those replays and think of a few people that you'd like to send them to, right? When you see the replays and the titles, they'll literally jog your memory of people that you might want to share them with. And then last but not least, we would like to invite you to the next 3 presentations in May. Next week, Dominique Jeffries will be our host. Millionaires in the Making. It's really a presentation for moms, being that it will be right after Mother's Day. So we're really going to be speaking about how we can support moms to become more millionaires in the making, how we're really bringing it home for moms. And then the fourth Thursday, we're going to be talking about autism blooming together. It's going to be a beautiful presentation. And then the fifth Thursday this month will be our 5-year reunion of the Million Mom Movement. So the original council that I was with 5 years ago when I got started. So that will be a really fun takeover. I hope you'll join us for that. And until next Thursday, thank you all so much for joining us here today, and have a beautiful weekend.